Hello and welcome to the Heart of It. We are recording on Gadigal land.
We have a fairly well-known couple that we have just had a fabulous chat with. Locky Gilbert and Irena Gilbert. You would know them from the Bachelor Australia Season 8, where their undeniable connection just blossomed amidst the drama, of course, reality TV. Irena was the beautiful, beautiful nurse, and Locky was just like the wild outdoorsman.
The big Aussie hunk.
Yeah.
And they had probably a lot more attention on their season because it was COVID.
That's right.
Everyone was locked
A
away.
lot of people saw it.
Rooting for Locky and Irena to come together. A great chat. They're in a good place.
Well, they sure are, because they're in Bali. They're on holiday. They so kindly took time out with their beautiful daughter, Ava,
Yes.
who you'll be able to hear in the background having a few little gurgles and chirps and whistles and stuff.
It's a great chat because they did talk about the public scrutiny that they went through. I'm sure they are dealing still with it in some particular way.
No doubt. They have well-known faces for sure. And Locky mentioned, some of the other reality shows that he did and why he did them. And certainly life with Ava now and how that's changed them they've spoke really beautifully about that.
Yeah. Also, I found it interesting with Irena has returned to nursing.
Yeah.
And she's in post-op. So imagine that, waking up from a 4-hour anesthetic and there's Irena standing. You'd be like, wow, what?
Yeah.
Am I on TV?
Locky's got a new business which he shares with us as well. So enjoy the chat with Locky and Irena.
Irena and Locky, thanks for joining us on the Heart of It. Where have we found you today?
We are actually in Bali. We are on a family holiday.
Oh, should we be here? Are we allowed to be talking to you on a family holiday?
No, it's fine. I'm always on the computer, which is good and bad, but I'm never not working. But no, it's being in Perth, like Bali's a 3-hour trip. So it's cheaper, quicker to get here than it is to go back to Melbourne.
That's so true. I always forget that about Perth, how bloody close it is to Bali. Is so lucky. Like, what a great...
Same time zone, same everything.
Yeah.
Is that right? Same time zone?
Yeah.
I've never been to Bali.
In Perth, we just call it a northern suburb.
Why not? Hey, speaking of you just said you're on the computer all the time. Do you guys have any rules around social media and computers, like dinner time, bedtime, first thing in the morning time?
I'm very, very bad. Like, the first thing I do in the morning is I get up, check sales, check emails, and because I'm running most of my new business just by myself. Like, I'm just constantly having to be on replies on emails and stuff. So I 100% want to be off, because when we do switch off and we're just like present in the moment, it's amazing, but it's very hard.
Yeah, indeed. And Ava's how old now?
She's 15 months.
She's 15 months.
Wow.
Oh, what a gorgeous age. How did she travel on the plane? Is she all right? Is she a good traveller?
She's a really good traveller.
Yeah.
This was her 20th flight, her third international trip.
Easy.
She's a well-travelled baby.
It's very well traveled.
Yeah.
Start him young.
Yeah. Well, that's our lifestyle, so we had to kind of get her used to it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Well, you guys, I mean, it's been well documented. We don't need to go over the whole
We know how you met.
Bachelor thing. That's what we usually do. How did you meet? But it was pretty well documented how you two met. Take us through the challenges of taking your relationship that was so public into the real world. How was that transition?
It was difficult because you have such a public relationship, and it's on national TV, and everyone's so invested in it and everyone comments on it. And then when you try and turn that public relationship into something a little bit more private, it's difficult because you want to share things with the public, because there's a part of it that we feel like we owe them that, and that's kind of the life that we have, but we also want to keep some things quite private and personal. And it's just finding the balance between what's too much sharing and what we can keep private. And I think it's taken us a good couple of years to kind of get.
Yeah, I think it was definitely harder for Irena because, like, obviously I've done every TV show under the sun. So
lucky you.
I've kind of been under the scrutiny of like people and like being in the public eye for a fair while now. So for me, it was harder because it was now a relationship. But for Irena, it was pretty hard at the start for Irena because everyone would be like, oh, why aren't you doing this? Why we haven't seen you here? We were like, oh my God, did you guys break up? And it's like, no, we just posted a photo where we're not together. And I was either traveling. It's just like everything was like, if like I wasn't seen in a story for a week, everyone would be like, oh, they're broken up, and then there'll be a Daily Mail article, and it's just Irena took a while to get used to that, where I've had a million good and bad articles about me. So
yeah, like we're engaged when we weren't engaged, then we're secretly married, then we're secretly broken up.
And then we had a couple kids, and then but just it's pretty funny.
I actually, I mean, I personally have sort of been in and out of public life. Cam's always been in it, and I was out of it for a long time when we lived in LA. We've been back for 8 years. I have never, ever gotten used to it. I'm not the type of person that deals with it well. I have a really thin skin. I don't do well with nasty Instagram comments. I'm like, it really, really gets me. So I'm like, I know it's the tax you pay, as we talk about being in the media, but it's like, I find that's the hardest place for me to be, is that.
I don't think many people would be okay with it. Like, I think I'm very tough and can take like any kind of criticism and stuff, but you'll get a million good comments, and then the one comment that just like rattles you, like one rattled me when Ava was, am I right to say it?
Yeah.
But one rattled me. It was like someone just like, we put up a photo or video of Ava, and then someone just like mentioned, oh, does she have Down syndrome? And then I like was up for like 24 hours straight of just like researching signs. And then Irena was going to like updates and stuff while I was at work, and I was like, hey, checking for this, and like there was nothing whatsoever of like, we had all the tests, we had everything, but like just a small little comment which they probably didn't mean it as something bad, but it rattled me for months.
Because then it was like, there's something wrong with Ava, like, you know, and then I flew her to Melbourne and took her to a pediatrician in Melbourne to be reviewed even there. And the pediatrician's like, she's perfectly healthy.
And then
like,
I wouldn't even.
He didn't believe me.
I didn't even believe Irena, because Irena sugarcoats everything for me, so I had to talk to the doctor. But exactly what he said, like, no matter what, like how strong you are, I think you can be rattled by just one simple comment.
Yeah. And I think it's probably way harder, obviously, when it's something to do with your child as well. Like there's one level when it's yourself, but when it's anything to do with your kids, then I am like, I lose my mind. Like even like the sniff of something where I feel like they're trying to sort of say something negative about my child on Instagram, I'm like, no, you are blocked and deleted forever. I have to process that.
And I want to, and I have this thing go, I'm going to write him an email. I'm writing an email.
And it never works. It never works. I mean,
Elle will say to me, you should write him an email.
Irena, did you have like people in the street sort of come up to you and be like, oh, I wish he had have chosen the other person? Like, did anyone ever get that kind of in your face with anything when you first sort of went public outside of The Bachelor?
Not in person, because our season was during COVID, so no one was coming up to anyone publicly.
I was going to ask about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I definitely had a lot of messages saying he shouldn't have picked you, he should have picked someone else. I don't understand why he picked you. You're boring. You're just a nurse. But yeah, I kind of had to block it out and trust our relationship and trust what we had. And that's kind of, I think, what got me through a lot of it was I knew what we had and I knew what we felt. So that kind of was my driving factor going through that first initial part.
Did that ever like play into challenges in the relationship? Did that ever kind of rock that at some point where you were like, don't know if I can actually keep going here? Or were you always rock solid?
At the beginning was really hard. So I think COVID kind of helped and kind of didn't help. I had to make a decision to move to Perth straight away. So we never did kind of a long distance. We kind of went from the show to living together instantly. And I think that also added pressure that we were like, oh, hang on, we've just come off a show. Now we're living together. I've moved my life across Australia without even having ever been to Perth or anything. Yeah. there was many factors that kind of contributed at the beginning, but I don't think that it was ever like, oh, I think you should have picked someone else, or me having doubts about like his feelings towards me. I think that part was always solid. It was more just the pressures of, I guess, having a new relationship and moving so quickly.
Yeah. We can hear beautiful little Ava in the
It's
background.
like she's got a lovely cooing.
She's
Oh,
so
there she is. Hi, she's gorgeous. Hi, Ava.
Oh, hi, precious.
Waving.
You are a mess, girl.
But no, I don't think we ever felt too much pressure like on our relationship. Like I think I got one person came up and said, "Oh, what you should have chose blah blah blah," and I think I just laughed in her face and then walked off.
Yeah, good on you.
Yeah, that sort of comment. It's in the past. It's done, isn't it? And you guys would have had a lot of viewers on your season because it was during COVID.
That's true.
A lot of eyes would have been on you guys, so probably more so than what would happen if the show was on, today.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
It's so good.
You're always like, oh, I want him to walk. And as soon as they walk and just grabbing stuff and grabbing the computer, like,
everything you thought she couldn't reach, it's like, oh, she can reach that now. That needs to go up too.
The poor girl's got my height, so she's already like half this. No, I'm looking at her now. She's like half the size of Irena.
She's half my height, over half. Yeah,
So how tall are you, Lock?
I'm 197, 196.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Tall
right
fellow.
on.
Super.
So, look, regardless of any opinion of public opinion, it is you two. And in March of 2023, I love this story. Can you just take us through this, Lock, while Irena's taking care of Ava. You had a surprise wedding in Melbourne. Guests thought that they were attending an engagement party. How did you arrange that?
Because I've always wanted a small wedding, like 30 people, just maybe come to Bali, do something really small, because I don't have a massive family or anything. So I thought 30 was big. And then I met her Macedonian family, and like 30 people is just literally the people living in the house.
Yeah,
like,
right.
It blows my mind. She's like, oh, my second cousin's brother's girlfriend's best friend is doing this weekend. I was like, I don't even know my first cousin's like best friend, let alone I don't even know my first cousin.
No, you don't.
So
actually.
and then it kind of, we're like, we want to have a engagement party in Perth, or we want to have an engagement party in Melbourne, then we want to get married in Bali. And I was just like racking up the bills, and I was like, that is insane. And then we were just like, oh, let's just have everyone come together in Melbourne, have a surprise wedding, because why not? And then it was like the best thing I could have ever asked for.
Oh, that's so good.
Fantastic.
Was your family okay with it, Irena?
Yeah. So the only people that knew it was going to be a surprise wedding was, I think, did your mum know? I don't think even your mum know.
My mum didn't know.
My parents knew.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And and that was it.
Our best friends.
And our best friends.
Oh, fun.
No one else knew. Everyone kind of was guessing, but the hardest challenge for us was getting everyone together, because all my family are all East Coast, and Locky's are all South Australia and Perth.
Yeah.
So we thought, let's meet in Melbourne. It's easy for everyone to get to.
Well, it was all yours were flying like international.
I know,
everywhere. Like there was
internationals,
so many coming from yours.
Yeah.
It was easy for like 7 people to come from Perth.
Yeah.
But incredible. It was a big sort of Macedonian party, and
My mum keeps saying she's not Macedonian at all. Neither is her partner. She's like, I want to have a Macedonian wedding.
What is a Macedonian wedding? Run us through, because I know I'm obsessed with Indian weddings. I want to go to an Indian wedding so bad, like that full 3-day event. But
Bringing the elephant in.
What's the traditions of the Macedonian wedding?
It's basically just nonstop dancing. So we didn't actually have any seating at our wedding deliberately, because everyone just dances.
Yeah.
So it's everyone dancing. But the best part is, and this is kind of just coming out of COVID, was we pass around bottles of spirits on the dance floor, and everyone takes a swig.
Full bottles of
from the
whiskey.
bottles.
Like the best man has this like traditional flask that's just full of straight whiskey, and it literally just gets passed around. This is just during COVID, but it was. That was the reason because no one got COVID at our wedding.
Yeah.
Except one person that didn't drink from
Yeah.
the whiskey bottle.
Well, yeah, the whiskey killed any
I was
germs
gonna
anyway.
say, yeah, burnt it out.
But yeah, there's just dancing and drums and like it's just all like and this traditional kind of step that and like all the Aussies were like getting a part of it. Yeah, it was so much fun.
Yeah.
And is there traditional garb that you wear for a Macedonian wedding?
So Lockie's best man held the traditional flask, and then
So great.
and that was the only part that we did that was kind of traditional.
Right.
As in
Sometimes
the clothing and stuff.
clothing.
Yeah.
Sometimes the groom will wear like a little sort of band around his arm, but
There's so many traditions that I wanted to do, but it was like you need like 4 days to do it.
Yeah.
It's hectic, but I think we did all the best stuff on the one night.
the dancing and the drinking.
So you were married in March of 2023, and then 11 months later comes Ava.
This little one.
Little rat bag that's running around.
So, I mean, this is brilliant news. What's Parenthood taught you about yourselves?
I was only just thinking this yesterday, but it's the hardest thing and the most rewarding thing.
Yeah.
Like the hugs that you get when you come home, and I try to tell it to my mates, it's just undescribable. Just when she nestles her head in there and just like cuddles in, it's like the feeling that you can't even describe it. Like everyone tells you before you have kids, it's like, oh, it's like the best feeling, but it's like 20 times better than that.
So true. How about for you, Irena?
Yeah, it's been, like Lockie said, the most challenging yet the most rewarding thing I've ever experienced in my life. I've always been a patient person, but I think she's taught me more patience.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I like the love. Like people tell you when you have kids, you feel a different love, and you never kind of understand it until you have your own baby. Yeah, Boo, she's doing peekaboo behind the computer now. You don't quite understand it until you do have your own baby. And they test you, like, you know, especially in the early days when you're up every couple of hours.
Yeah.
It's so hard. But yeah, as Lockie said, just that one hug just wipes away everything. And then, you know, now she's walking and talking. Now we're dealing with, you know, she fell down the stairs the other day, and I'm like, she's all banged up. And I'm like, yeah, because you run around just like your dad. Yeah, she's definitely Lockie's personality.
100% like me.
Is she really?
Yeah.
Has it
She's
changed?
adventurous and-
Has it changed for you, Lockie? Like you've done some adventure sports that some would say are, you know, a little. I mean, you're a safety person, I know as well, but you certainly push the limits physically with some of the adventurous stuff that you've done. Is that something now you feel? Okay, I've got Irena and Ava now. I need to sort of be a little bit more aware of my lifespan.
Oh, yeah, massively. Like even, before we had Ava, I was base jumping, skydiving, like reckless stuff, but as safe as possible. But yeah, I stopped skydiving, I stopped base jumping, and I was only just thinking about getting into base jumping again. And then, it weighs on you massively. Like when Irena was pregnant, I went to Nepal and I climbed a 6,000 meter peak right near Everest, and I got to the top. Well, I got right near the top and then got hit with altitude sickness, and I was dizzy, throwing up, nearly walked off the edge of a cliff, and then I had a sleep, and then woke up and they're like, "Hey, do you want to push on to the top?" Which, if I was single or didn't have Ava and a wife back at home, I probably would have just pushed my body through and just risked it. But in that point, I was like, nah, just stop here, go back, you can come back, like you've got a pregnant wife at home. So for someone like me to be able to think of the external factors like a wife and a partner and everything it just shows that, kids and life definitely changes all for the better, that's for sure.
Yeah.
We just said goodbye to our 29-year-old daughter. She just left. She's with us for the last couple of nights. And let me tell you, the hugs that she gave us as an 18-month-old, it still feels the same today.
Yeah.
The energy of her is still the same. It's the most bizarre thing, but it's the same with our three kids. That energy never leaves them, and you think, when they grow up, you go, they're grown up, but then they move in, give you a hug, and kiss you on the cheek and say, "I love you, Dad," and it's like, oh man, that feeling, man, it doesn't go away. It's
You
beautiful.
can't describe it, can you? You really like someone that like is having a kid or like about to have a kid or doesn't have a kid. Like you want to tell them exactly how it is, but like you can't even tell them how good it is.
Yeah.
It's
Well, like
so true.
what I was saying to Locky, my biggest fear now is if we have another kid, is that I'm not going to love the next one as much as I love her.
Yeah.
Because I love her so much, and I'm like, how can I love anyone else as much as I love her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I
And
mean,
it doubles.
It grows.
It just doubles.
Yeah.
Like it's not less, it doubles. It's wild. And then
Yeah.
it's the same with the third one as well.
Yeah.
Like you just don't think your heart can expand that much, and then it just keeps growing.
Yeah, it's a bit like the cloud. I think we're a bit like the cloud. The more information you put up there, it just grows bigger, and you become more capable of loving.
You are little
She's
rascal girl.
She's an absolute ripper.
She's nonstop. Like this is her energy all the time. She's go, 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 just like Locky.
Do you miss the nursing world, Irena?
I'm still nursing.
Are you still nursing? Oh, I thought you were full-time
I
mum,
never
which is
stopped.
enough. But yeah, you're back
Yeah.
nursing again. Oh, that's
Yeah,
amazing.
so I took 12 months off after the show.
Yep.
For our relocating, and then we did a lap of Australia. And then, the only other time I took off was for maternity leave, and I only took 6 months off and went back quite quickly.
Yeah.
But I do it part-time, so part-time, full-time mum, but part-time nurse.
Yeah. You still love it though.
So
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's not a job that you do for anything other than you love it. 'Cause, it's not the most, we don't get paid the best, but it's the most rewarding job. So I absolutely love nursing. Yeah.
Yeah.
when you're nursing, do your patients ever recognize you from the telly?
So I'm a recovery nurse. So I see patients after they wake up from an anesthetic, which is the funniest
Even
time
better.
because and some of the stuff that they say is just hilarious. And then I get messages on Instagram later on going, "Oh my God, I thought it was a dream that I saw you, but you were really there. What did I say to you?" It's
so
it's kind of
great.
funny.
Could have sworn I woke up and there was this beautiful nurse. She looked really familiar. Can't have been her.
Can't have been it. It
Can't
was
have
a dream.
been her. Are you a bit of an adventure woman as well, Irena? Have you done some of the adventurous stuff with Locky?
I've certainly become a little bit more adventurous since being with Locky. Like I've done, I've done skydiving.
Oh, wow.
Swum with great white sharks. Swum with
Oh,
Oh,
crocs.
where did you do that?
Up in NT. We've done the wild dolphins.
Went
What else?
hiking overnight, like mountain biking, full
Yeah.
driving, a lot more. My thing was I just like threw her into it. Like we did a lap around Australia straight off the back of the show. Do not recommend it 3 months into a relationship, spending 8 months in a car together. It was very testing, but I think that's why we're closer together. But I threw her in the deep end, which I probably should have went a little bit slower, but she took it like a champ. I think there was like a hashtag going around about our trips, and it was like Free Irena, because she was just constantly on like these crazy trips and everything.
Yeah.
So was that with a caravan?
No, we did it with a rooftop tent and just like a camper trailer with like a pull-out kitchen. So, we did 8 months. It had no shower, no toilet. Like it was just...
Rough.
What would you say has been your best sort of adventure-wise trip so far, the two of you?
Some of the memorable moments are the fights. But
Yeah.
no, this one's funny because it's pretty funny. We were in the middle of Northern Territory. It was like we were 160 kilometres away from camp, and we're down this dirt road. It's like 40 degrees. We're fighting about something. Something stupid, like it always is. And I'm driving, and I'm like, nah, take the car, go. You get. So I got out, middle of nowhere, dirt road, 40 degrees. Then she jumps in the driver's seat. I'm just legging it down this road, like walking, and she goes, "God, fine, go, leave." And she just starts throwing my stuff out the window. But the stuff she was throwing out was a bag, sunscreen, lip balm, and a map.
Water bottle.
And a water bottle. So I'm there with my bag, picking up the stuff, going, "Yep, thank you." And then she took off. I was like, "Oh." So then I legged it into the bushes, trying to trick her that I was gone. I see her driving back, trying to find me. And then I get back in the car and then it's all fine. But that's a memorable moment. But I mean,
you can't reenact that. That would be a funny reenactment. Put a drone up in the air and see all the bits flying out of the car.
Yeah.
Take this lip balm, you bastard.
All right. So based on that, when you do argue, and like how does it go making up? How do you get through those disagreements?
Don't even know. We just realised how stupid the problem. I think we've become, like, the trip around Australia, we got so good at working out what pisses each other off so quickly.
Right.
So that's why our arguments get to a point where it's just like, oh my God, we're being stupid. Okay. And then we just kind of move on. But I don't know if there's anything that we do that
Most
helps.
of the time it's you coming to me and apologising, and then I'm like,
no, all the time I'm apologising. You never apologise to me.
Terrible. And then I'm like, oh yeah, sorry, we're being a bit ridiculous, aren't we? And it's always over like the most silliest things. Like, we will literally fight over like where I put his sunglasses, or
And I've always misplaced them, but it's never me at the start.
It's just something really silly, and that we will turn it into something ridiculous. And we'll kind of get over it. But like for the serious things, we, we're still learning, and we're still, especially now with a child, it makes things so different. Like, having a kid just escalates things. So now it's more, we're learning to communicate a lot better. And I think that, with Ava now, we've really learned how to talk to one another and talk with kindness, even when we're upset with each other. And I think that's been a really big difference. And that we try not to, get to a point where we're escalating and screaming at each other for no reason. So,
because I've been very, like, kind of I guess you can call it the macho kind of persona and stuff. And I actually only recently just started seeing she's like a coach, like a business coach and a life coach as well. Yeah. And like, we did all the stuff that I do not like all the healing, and like she laid me down on the ground and then talked about my past, and then I'm crying and like doing all this stuff that I hate. Like, I get chills even thinking about it, because I don't like that kind of stuff. But just even from that kind of coaching, or whatever you want to call it, has made huge changes. So just shout out to her. She's changed me amazingly. And anyone else that's a macho man that thinks that all this woo-woo stuff is kind of not for them, just give it a go, because it did help me out quite a bit.
What was it that made you lean into that, Lock?
I don't like to say, like, we just dug into, like, I don't like the word trauma, because I think everything you just need to you either turn it into a negative or a positive. So whatever happened, it's up to you. But just went back and just found out reasons why I'm doing stuff now. And like, you kind of work out like, hey, that's not the way it's meant to be. Yeah. Like, but you're just programmed to think that that's the way it is. And then literally there was one thing just with some things that it was just a switch. And I go, oh, whoa, that wasn't the right thing that happened to me years ago. Yeah. Like, and it just kind of fixed it pretty good.
Because what she explained was that, like, it's, and I think on one of your episodes, you guys spoke to someone about it. It's your childhood comes out when you have a serious adult relationship, and things that you did as a child and how you coped with things then comes out later on in life. So, and I think that's what we've learned, and it's learning about how to adapt that, but adapt it into an adult relationship and a romantic relationship.
Absolutely.
Also feels like that too with parenting as well, that you're faced with that now. You've got Ava in front of you, and it's that choice to go, okay, innately the way that how you were parented, in that moment, and then you go, no, I remember that feeling not good. I need to make a different choice. But it's that unconscious side of you, when that takes over, it can make things a lot more challenging.
Yeah, very like, because if anyone looked at us, they would be like, Irena's going to be the overprotective, like watching her all the time, and I'm just going to be full free range because we loved the show. What was the show? Parental Guidance. We absolutely loved that.
Yeah, great show.
But then I'm like massively helicopter parent, like terrible helicopter parent.
Yeah, right.
Like even if she's on a swing, like I am losing it because I do not want her to get hurt. Where for me, I'm just like, that's insane because I take all the risks in the world, but like, I have to be there with her at all times.
Yeah, I would have 100% picked you, Locky, as the dad who throws the kid up into the air and chucks him in the pool to learn how to swim and all that stuff. But wow, that's wild. That's really interesting.
Yeah. I know. I'm getting better, but I'm still nowhere near it. Like we were out camping and my mates were like, oh, helicopter.
Yeah, but they do. I mean, that's the thing. That builds their own resilience, Let them eat dirt, let them fall over, pick themselves up. You're okay.
I think we do. We do pretty well with that. Like,
we balance each other.
My big thing is I just, like, if she falls and hurts herself or like she does something wrong or fails, that I praise that fail, not like a participation award kind of style, but like get up, like it's okay to fail and try again and then succeed. Like I don't want her to think like failing is a bad thing. Like, because I think in my life I've failed at 1,000 things. I've started heaps of businesses that have failed. I've failed so many times, but I'm just not scared of failure. And I hope that's the one thing I'd love to teach Ava.
I love that. So what is next for both of you, sort of personally and professionally?
I just started up a new company in Australia, selling like full drive gear. But the whole reason behind it was, since I've got Ava and the family now, I knew that you'd have like your family, your hobbies, and your business, your work. And then the one thing that would dwindle down is your hobbies. And for me, hobbies is how I express myself, how I like, that's just my whole life besides these two. So I was just like, what can I do to create a business around my hobbies, which is around outdoors and full driving and stuff. So created a new company, and then that's given me enough time to work on that and also spend a lot of time with my family as well.
How about for you, Irena? Anything next for you personally or professionally?
Professionally, I feel like I'm pretty set. Like I've been a nurse now for 15 years. So I feel like that's been a huge part of my life and I love it. But now I kind of want to transition into like, and I never ever thought I'd say this, I want to be a full-time mum. I've always loved my job and loved my career, but I hate spending time away from Ava, and especially if we have more kids. I want to be, as present as I can, but by still providing, a good role model for Ava and a good example for her. So it's just finding that balance, I guess.
Right. I'm always curious about people who go on the TV shows, on the reality shows and things. If it's especially like what you guys did with The Bachelor. Am I on this to meet somebody, or I'm on this to, build fame and, an acting career or something like that? Clearly, you both went on to, clearly with you, Irena, you went on, you're a nurse. It doesn't feel like you were going on there to do TV, whereas Locke says I've done every bloody TV show in the book.
Well, since then,
But if someone came to you and said, we've got this idea for a TV show, now that you've got your businesses set up, you're a bit more got your future laid out in how you want it and taking responsibility for your own stuff, like you setting up your business. If someone did come up and say, I would love you to do more TV, is that something that you would do again, or is that like been there, done that, moving on?
The way I see it is the Bachelor has given me my whole life. Like, it's given me Locky and now Ava. So I'm so grateful for the show. So I feel like if there was an opportunity for something else, I don't know what it would bring. So it's only brought me something. I've only had one experience and it's only been a positive. So I'd be open to it if it didn't take me away from a long time away from Ava. That will be my only thing. I think Locky's different. He's open to...
Mine is just like, I love... Back when I was like 20, just kind of said to myself, I'm going to say yes to every opportunity.
Yeah.
So then that took me playing sports around Europe, traveled the world, Survivor, Bachelor, met my wife, got my daughter. So that's same as Irene. I think we're both in terms of your question, we would never do it to like boost anything. It would be like, if it sounds cool, sounds fun, like it's something that we enjoy, it doesn't take away from our family, yeah, we'd give it a go. But like, yeah, we wouldn't be going on, oh, we can boost this, we can do that, we'll get this from there. We literally just want to like have fun and just provide as much as we can for our family.
Yeah,
Unreal.
absolutely.
Unreal. Great.
All right, we do something called the Rapid Heartbeat, and it's just sort of quick fire questions that will ask you both the same question and just keep your answers short.
What brings you joy?
Ava.
Yeah, Ava.
Easy. What's one habit that you each do that the other finds adorable? It's adorable, guys. I know everyone thinks I'm going to say annoying. It's adorable. What habit do you find in the other person that's adorable?
Mine are back scratches.
Ah.
Well, it starts as popping and then I get a little bit of scratches, so you get good with that.
Mine is just catching Locky and Ava having cuddles together.
Yeah.
Oh, how great.
Yeah.
Dream destination that you have yet to visit?
Antarctica.
For me, Spain. Or Mexico.
Oh.
Yes.
Last question. One word to describe each other.
Caring.
Teddy bear.
Oh, that's so great. That's a
Excellent.
new one. We've never had teddy bear.
Never had teddy bear.
I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to let you go back to your lives, you two and Ava.
Enjoy
and
Bali.
Enjoy Bali.
Thank you so much.
No worries. Thanks, guys.